Alright.
Just start off with cursing.
That's how this review of this family-friendly movie starts. By us saying fuck. There we go.
was
I don't think I like that. That's. I'm not sure I like that.
It was family friendly. I better.
If I do that, does Mary have a little more light on her? I feel like she does.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
You're good, Mary.
Good.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to WittyClothes Reviews a Movie.
Yeah, that's exactly what we call this segment always.
With Mary.
With Mary. Hi, Mary. How's it going?
I'm Dara. That's Cailin.
Hi. That's Mary.
That's Mary. Special guest Mary.
My name is Miles Morales, and in my world, I'm the one and only Spider-Man. That is, until he showed up.
And it's a no on the cape.
I think it's cool.
Spider-Man doesn't wear a cape. All right, you ready?
Hey guys,
Who are you?
I'm Gwen Stacy. I'm from another dimension.
How many more Spider people are there?
Hey, fellas.
Hello.
This could literally not get any weirder.
It can get weirder. My name is Peter Porker.
I would say we just got Spider-Man into the universe, but it's actually been at least like.
That's not true because we did stop for frozen yogurt.
'Cause-
But to be fair, the frozen yogurt place just closed.
Yeah, so-
we sprinted in there.
We
We literally sprinted.
So, Spider-Man into the universe came out a couple weeks.
Into
the
Spiderverse.
Spiderman.
Spider-Man into the universe. Here he is. He's
You know,
coming up.
there's a universe. It exists.
Word. Do we really exist?
I don't know.
These are questions.
Into the Spiderverse.
Yes.
Came out a couple weeks ago, and we just saw it because life.
Spider-Man jacket on.
Yeah, so they're the Spider-Man peoples. Yous are. I'm the noob-ish.
Yeah.
I knew stuff.
She's a noob when it comes to Spider-Man.
I knew
what you needed to know.
I knew that Spider-Man was a guy named Peter Parker who got bit by a radioactive spider and for a long time he was Spider-Man swinging around, doing stuff.
He can do whatever.
I knew who Miles Morales was.
Yeah.
He got bit by a radioactive spider.
Right.
Did you get the end?
No, I didn't get that at all.
Wait,
that was Miguel Harris. That was 2099 Spider-Man. He's kind of obscure.
God, how many Spider-Men are there?
There's a lot.
I knew who Spider-Ham was because I had Peter Porker. I didn't know who that was because I read a Spider-Man
Oh yeah,
comic.
should we say spoil? Do we want to do non-spoilers or are we just gonna do spoilers throughout?
Spoilers.
We're just gonna do spoilers throughout.
It's been out a while.
Spoilers. Go watch it if you haven't seen it. We're like the last people to see it, so like go out and watch it.
It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, and then
Not 2 weeks.
I knew who Spider-Gwen was, except I kind of don't understand somebody. Like I knew she existed,
Yeah,
but like didn't she die at a point?
yeah. In the OG Spider-Man.
Yeah, because that's like a comic like I've seen when I want to feel sad. I just like look up the comic of her death.
Oh yeah.
It's sad.
That's weird. You're like, I want to feel sad now. That's sad.
Yeah,
Oh no.
but like the main character is technically Miles Morales, and how he becomes Spider-Man, and then other dimensional crap happens.
That's perfect summary. Yep.
Yeah,
So
So it's like him, and then for a while there's like good-looking Peter Parker, and then he did.
oh yeah, yeah. This is.
I was like, wait, isn't Peter Parker in most of this movie? I thought that's what I heard. But then like he just did.
So this movie is basically like the Miles Morales origin story, but just happens to have a lot of other spider.
Yeah, because then you get older Peter Parker from a different dimension.
Right.
I think both voiced by Jake Johnson.
Yes.
I don't know. Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, both of them, and then
I didn't pay attention to the voice.
and then Spider-Gwen shows up,
Mm-hmm.
and then Nick Cage Spider-Man,
Yeah, Spider-Man Noir.
and the Japanese Spider-Woman,
Penny Parker.
and then Spider-Ham.
Voiced by John Mulaney.
That's okay. I'm
Yeah.
like, so, but I
Famous comedian.
But what did you guys think?
Oh,
I loved it.
That was your second time seeing it.
This movie is
I
so
still love
good. This movie is just like something special, you know?
Mhm.
Like we don't see movies like this a lot anymore. I feel like we see a lot of good movies nowadays,
It felt
but
like
we don't
kinda-
see a movie like
we don't see
that.
like meta movies a lot all the time.
Mhm.
I mean,
Just
we see
about how they joked that like we've seen so many origin stories of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They like made a little joke about that.
This movie is so like aware of itself, and which is so refreshing.
Well, like if you look at I think it was like the producers were Phil Lord and Chris Miller who
Yeah.
did like most of that
Yeah.
stuff. So
Mhm.
yeah, so like okay.
Yeah, so no, I thought this movie was something. I was just like, I was so hyped going into it. Like literally, the first trailer came out around last Christmas, so like Christmas 2017, and like ever since I saw that first trailer, like I've been hyped for this movie because like it was just it was just a good trailer, and I mean because they used clips from the movie and it was a good movie, so like they just showed like a couple seconds of that, and like I'm in, I'm sold, I'm in. So yeah, it was just really good movie, and it's just
worth the hype.
where to start?
I like Miles.
It's worth the hype. Miles is so good.
I liked him.
I love him.
He was fun.
He was just.
Is he like kind of Peter Parker-esque though? Like they feel fairly similar.
How so?
Like I guess.
Just the nerdiness.
Okay, so my knowledge of like Peter Parker is that his uncle got shot, and then he has like a mouth on, not like a dirty mouth, but like he's a smart mouth a bit.
Yeah.
So and that kind of felt similar in a way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think there's
Like it looks like they might have different like stuff in common. Like he's not much of like a science nerd. Miles isn't much of a science nerd.
he's an artiste.
He's an artist, but he's also like definitely smart.
Yeah.
It's like that dumb thing where he gets a 0 out of 100 on a true or false test. And the teacher's like, the only way you get a 0 is if you knew the right answer.
Right. So she just gives him 100 even though he was trying to fail, which is so.
He's trying to get out of like the school and like.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like it starts off like Miles got accepted into a new school. It's like a fancy academy, but he doesn't want to go because he wants to stay back like
with his buddies,
with all of his friends. And it's like so cool to see. Like he's like cool. He like has a lot of friends, and he's like not like popular, but he's like cool with his friends, and that was interesting to see because we're used to like in the Peter Parker origin story, he's like a big old nerd, big old loser. But Miles Morales, he's a cool dude, and he's pretty chill.
Well, that was the only thing that was kind of different for them. That like Miles seemed like more like cool and like had more friends than like obviously Peter Parker. But like besides that, like they seemed and like the arts besides that they seemed fairly similar.
Yeah,
I think part of the reason they were so similar is because they want any and all spider people to be relatable, I think.
That's I can see that. All right.
That's why they would have overlapping personality traits.
Yeah, and even like when they start comparing like stories.
So that was something. I was like I noticed that. I was like, oh yeah, but like he's fun. And how old is he supposed to be? Like 15?
I think so.
Yeah,
that sounds about right. But like, yeah, what I found interesting is like when they had all like the spider folks together and they're comparing like origin stories, they all had like very like similar bare bones, and not even the ones that were like also Peter Parker. It was like all of them.
You got bit by a spider and somebody did.
And somebody that you care about died. And that's it. And
most of the time it was an uncle. Even for Miles, spoiler alert, it was an uncle.
It was an uncle. His uncle. Yeah.
Who was what villain was he, or is he just a henchman?
Oh, Prowler.
Yes,
it's Prowler.
But like, I have a question. So like in the beginning, not the beginning, but like when Miles gets like bitten by the spider, and then he's like with Peter Parker, and then Peter Parker dead, and then like the Prowler guy's like going after him. Miles didn't have a mask on, did he? No. So then
but he didn't see him either.
Right.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say like because it's like that was like a twist, which once the Prowler went to the house, I saw that coming.
Right.
But I'm like, so then wait, but wouldn't you have known that because you saw him? But I guess if they didn't see him, that's fine.
Right.
Like Miles ran off.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That was like something I noticed. I'm like, wait, why didn't you notice that?
This is kind of a weird sidebar, but the dad's last name is Davis, so where's Morales come from?
That's his mother's.
That's what I thought.
So they're not married?
No, I think they're married, but I think in the comics, if I remember correctly, it's before his dad became a cop, he led kind of a rough life, and so like when he married.
And like that would make sense because his mom is Hispanic.
Yeah, so. when he married the mom, it was kind of his way of starting over, so he changed his last name. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes in the comics, if I remember correctly.
That sounds right.
Yeah, and I didn't know if Phil Lord and Chris Miller did this movie. I know they didn't direct it, but they like wrote it or produced it. I
don't know. I saw their names in some place. It looks like they're like
they're definitely producers.
Yeah, I don't think they did much, but they were producers.
But like, if I could compare this to anything, Lego Batman.
Really?
No, not like in like the fact that it's just like, kind of like here's a bunch of this superhero with a bunch of different iterations.
Right.
Here you go.
Have fun.
Have fun. Yeah.
What do you guys think of the fight scene with Fisk. I thought that was so trippy and cool.
Oh my god.
yeah, that was...
Okay, we could just spend forever talking about the animation of this movie because it's incredible. Awesome. Like this is I feel like what animated movies have been missing. Like because I feel like with a lot of animated movies, it's not that the artists aren't creative. I feel like it's that they don't get a lot of opportunities to like take risks. And this was like, hi, just go be artists. And
well, I think they're trying to make it look like a comic book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, it was amazing.
And there's different styles you can do with the different spider people. So.
Yeah. The way they
that was
incorporated all that was awesome.
Yeah, I think like for me, like near the beginning, I wasn't sure just because like it was like so different. Like it was so different, like the way like everybody was kind of like interacting.
It was a little jarring at first.
It was kind of like because like a lot of times with me in animation, like depending if you try to make it look more realistic, I kind of just like it kind of pushes me away. And then once I got into like the comic book stuff, like it being more ridiculous and like then I kind of got a bit more into it. Like I like the fact that like when the other spider people who weren't in their universe, because that's kind of how it works. Like Wilson Fisk, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like when he blew up, there was a fusing thing, and then when Kablooey.
Yeah.
And then when the spider people come in, they're all kind of like because they're not supposed to be there. They kind of go like blah, blah and like glitch, and like that looked really cool to me.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was cool, like the ability to like incorporate different styles like that. I feel like they're pushing the limits of like what they could do, and that was so nice to see. It was so good, and I love like how comic booky they made it, like how they'd have like word bubbles, like pop up, and like that was so good.
But that was the thing probably my favorite part about like it really wasn't like the animation. Like I don't know, I think I might have liked this like less than you guys. Like I had a lot of fun. I just don't know if I put this in like top 10 movie fun. Like definitely like 11, maybe like 12 or 13.
Okay.
I had a lot of fun, but like my favorite part was, and I saw with like Phil Lord and Chris Miller, like was kind of like the writing and I laughed a lot, and there was a lot of fun jokes. Like I think it was the thing of after when the Peter Parker in the right universe dies, and then MJ is kind of like giving this big speech, and then there's like a bunch of people in Spider-Man masks, and like Miles Morales is like it's like saying like it's like we're all counting you. It's like he's counting on me, and the guy's like, I don't think he's counting on you specifically. And it's like I
think it's more of a metaphor. But like the whole movie is like chock full of like stuff like that.
Yeah, and I like
that kind
that
of writing.
And I think I'm trying to think of
like you don't have to like know the comics and
you don't know that, and like because they explain it to you 100,000 times the freaking origin story.
Yeah, but it's funny how they do it. They were like structure it in a way that's kind of
and they do it very quickly.
There were like references, like I got the Spider-Man 3 dance thing. Even though like I don't remember I've seen Spider-Man 3, I don't remember it.
We don't talk about it.
I love the references to the Spider-Man memes. It's really good. It's really good throughout. Because like, I had to run out to the bathroom this way, but there was because I really had to pee. But the scene where they're in like the office, right? They have a reference to the Spider-Man at the desk, which is a reference to like another meme.
I think I've seen that one.
Desk, which is really good.
Yes, I've seen that one. I don't think like
Spider-Man dancing.
What do you think of Doc Ock in this one?
I was cool.
Oh, she was a chick?
I liked it. I thought it was an interesting kind of reimagining.
Yeah. But I thought this was in the I assumed that everything was in the comic.
My boyfriend had an issue with the arms. Like her arms looked weird in this one.
Well, yeah, because they weren't. It was so interesting. I thought it was an interesting redesign because they weren't made of metal. They were made of like. It wasn't like
it was
plastic.
More like octopus material.
Yeah, it was more of like it was like a softer kind of material, and I thought it looked different.
Thought it looked cool.
I thought it was like a really interesting redesign and made for a really good reveal.
Yeah,
like so you're like, oh, it's a science lady, she's probably important, and then the reveal that like, oh, she's this universe's Doc Ock. I'm like, that's really neat.
When that reveal first came, I was like,
I was like, oh, okay, that was really neat.
Yeah,
I like how they did that.
I would say also like for me, like Wilson Fisk kind of look weird,
Kingpin?
Kingpin, yeah.
I
think I know him as Wilson Fisk. I keep wanting to say Finch, but I know it's Fisk. Because that's what they always said. Because, like, this is going to give me my newbie for a long time. I thought he was just a Daredevil villain. Because, like, the only time I ever witnessed him in, like, the little bit of the movie that I saw and then the TV show.
Right.
And then the show is called Wilson Fisk. So that's what I always refer to him as. But, like, and then I think read somewhere was he technically a Spider-Man villain or was it, like, both?
Just Marvel villain.
I think, general New York villain.
He's definitely in the
But it, like, makes sense. Like, he was the main villain in this one.
I thought that was a really interesting choice of, like, main villain. But I liked it. I liked it because, I don't know. It was different. Like, I feel like so many...
And, like, he didn't play that huge of a role. It wasn't really about...
Yeah, he was the antagonist, but he wasn't, like, the main kind of driving force necessarily. Like, he wasn't constantly there.
Yeah.
To, like, push things along, which is interesting.
And I kind of like that, like, they give you a reason to maybe feel sympathetic towards him, and I'm kind of like, you're still kind of a bastard.
Yeah, I think,
Yeah.
yeah, that was kind of the point. Yeah,
And if
they
you
gave
ever
him.
saw Daredevil season 3,
Okay.
I have not.
Neither have I. Sorry.
But
there's
they,
more on Wilson Fisk.
yeah, they give him a motivation, which is good.
Yeah.
Which helps kind of propel things forward. But yeah, oh my god, it's a good movie.
I love
And
his
is there
intro
gonna-
scene when he like gets the costume and he's flying around the city. That was awesome.
Miles.
Yeah.
When he gets first the thing. Oh, that was.
That was great. That was
Yeah, like,
fantastic.
yeah, this
That
movie's like
sequence.
really funny. And yeah, I did like the bit where he's about to fly, and then he's kind of like, because he seems climbing up the steps, and then he's like, it's like the dramatic music's playing, and then he's like down the stairs again.
Nope.
Nope.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I'm talking about when he like actually gets to see
When he
them.
like the
Oh, like,
dramatic
at
moment
the
where he
end?
finally
Oh, yeah.
suits up,
That was fun.
which was really
That was great.
really good.
Was that the Miles Morales like official suit?
yeah?
Yeah, he
Okay.
always had a black suit.
He has
Okay.
the black and red.
I kind of like the thing with the cape though. It's like he puts on a cape, and Peter Parker's like,
No
no,
capes.
no, no.
No capes.
No capes.
Spider-Man doesn't wear a cape.
It's disrespect.
Even though he did at one point, I don't know.
Who knows?
I kind of like.
He did have like the little wingies. Remember? Anybody remember the Spider-Man
yeah.
costume with the wingies?
Was that just
That's
the one
great.
from the Spider-Man Home MCU?
No, that's an
that's in
older one.
Homecoming.
That's an older. There's an older version that has the.
Yeah, they had a
wings.
Homecoming though too.
You did.
Yeah, he did. But I mean, like, where
I'm
it
a
comes
noob.
from originally
Oh,
is
gotcha.
like older than that. Because my little brother, when he was little, he had Spider-Man pajamas and they had
And then
little
little wings.
wings.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was cute.
So I'm kind of, the only thing I'm kind of, not really confused about, this is more like in Spider-Man stuff. So Gwen Stacy died. So then how is she Spider-Gwen?
Alternate universe.
How many?
There's alternate dimension, alternate universe where
She got
Peter
bit.
dies instead of she gets bit, and then Peter dies instead of Gwen Stacy.
Oh, they weren't dating in that? Like in the, because they said she said she couldn't save her best friend.
Yeah.
So like they
Some
weren't
versions
dating.
they are dating. Some
Some
are
of-
not.
yeah, some
in some
iterations.
versions she's dating Miles Morales, so it really just depends on.
That
which version
looked like
you're
that's where I was gonna go for a while.
Yeah, this movie
in
definitely
this
set
in
up-
this movie, yeah, they're
like
setting
that
it
was.
up that way.
And there's a point like at the end where she's kind of like, "Hey, you need a minute." I don't know how she got back. That's a question, but like,
Well, yeah, that's kind of the setup, right? That's like the setup to the sequel, because I'm pretty sure the sequel got confirmed. So,
did this movie make a lot of money?
I know people wouldn't stop talking about it. I feel like this like really nailed Spider-Man, like as a character.
Yeah, I mean,
Just like as a whole thing.
you know,
As a general Spider-Man.
yeah, Spider-Man had a pretty good year minus the dusting of 2018.
Womp womp. True.
Like he got a video game.
That's true. The video game is very popular.
This
was the
it
this
looks
was the
really,
year of Spider-Man.
This was the year of Spider-Man, you know, and he only died twice, technically twice.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, we know he's coming back in Avengers, it's fine. But,
But also, I wanted more Gwen Stacy. I wanted more
I
Spider-Man.
feel like the sequel probably give us more
I
Spider-Man.
I want her to
love
get more
her.
recognition.
And
She's
she
got
has,
a TV show too.
Really?
Yeah.
And she has a fantastic undercut. So shout out to my undercut gang.
She didn't want that though.
Yeah, but
that was
it
Miles'
looked
fault.
So good.
That was funny.
And
That was
like,
funny.
Looks so good.
but I think I remember waiting out for a bit because like she was like in like the high school with Miles, and then we find out that she's Spider-Gwen. So I'm like, how much older is she? And then it turned out like only maybe like a year and a half. It's fine.
Because that version, she's been like Spider-Woman
For, like, a few
for
years.
2 years. Yeah, in her.
Is she Spider-Woman or Spider? Like
It varies.
Wait.
It goes back and forth.
I feel like you can't be called Spider-Gwen and nobody figure it out.
Yeah, Spider-Gwen is the comic name. I think the actual, at least in the movie, she
I know there
references
is-
herself as Spider-Woman.
I know-
Wasn't Ghost Spider a thing at some point? Am I?
The TV show, she's Spider-Ghost.
Okay.
Which I hate. I don't like that.
I know that there's a Spider-Woman, and then
Yeah, which is
There's
a different
also,
character.
Spider-Girl, who's like his kid.
Maybe.
Spider-Girl? I had
There's also Silk, and that's stupid.
Was that the thing I was thinking? I had this comic that I got at Universal Island Adventures when I was 12, and that's where I knew how I knew who Spider-Ham was.
Okay.
But like the main comic of that was Peter Parker was telling a story to his daughter, who's Spider-Girl, about some kind of like arachnid woman villain, but it wasn't Spider-Woman.
Might be Silk.
Okay.
Madam Web?
Madam
I
Web.
remember Madam Web from the 90s TV
I
series.
don't know if Silk's. I don't think Silk's a villain though, but she has a different costume.
I think she wasn't a villain, but then she was like half villain. I don't know.
Might be Silk.
It was kind of confusing, and I was like 12, so I don't really remember it. I think at that point,
She
like,
has a stupid backstory.
I think at that point, like, Spider-Man 2 would just come out, so I'm just like, I want to see that. I still haven't seen Spider-Man 2. I'm really weird with that.
Wait,
Spider-Man 2
Tobey Maguire?
or
It's
Amazing
Tobey
Spider-Man?
Maguire. No, it's Tobey Maguire. I never...
Two's
I,
good.
The 2 I like too.
Yeah,
I just never saw it. Like, I've seen the first... Sam Raimi's, I've seen the first one and the third one.
Huh.
Just because of how I've seen it. I haven't seen any of the Amazing Spider-Mans. And I never saw Spider-Man Homecoming, but I've seen Civil War and Infinity War, so I've seen that.
Homecoming's good.
I know. It's not on Netflix, probably because of the Sony thing.
So, quick sidebar. Did you guys ever see Venom?
I did not see
Nope.
Venom.
It was pretty fun. It was enjoyable.
I
enjoyed
want
it.
to. I heard bad things about, but like it's so funny because like
It's
critics
stupidly funny.
Critics panned it, but like people who like fans like loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I need to see
Like,
it.
it's
at some point.
dumb, it's stupid, but funny.
Eh.
I want to see
And
it.
just Tom Hardy, so.
Why don't they just, like, bring Venom into the Spiderverse and have be voiced by
Because-
Tom Hardy?
Venom is a Sony property.
So I'm saying bring him into the Spiderverse.
This movie was put out by Sony.
Right.
So
It's like
Are
pretty
you
much
talking about, like, MCU, though?
No, it's like Spiderverse.
this-
Like,
Oh, into
like
this,
animated
yeah. Oh, I
and then
see.
voiced by Tom Hardy.
Oh.
I kind of also maybe wouldn't mind seeing, like, the Spider-Man noir thing just because I love Nicolas Cage and he was awesome.
That was
it
great.
was so funny. As soon as he like opens his mouth, I'm like, it's Nick Cage.
Yay!
Oh, yeah. All I could think of was National Treasure, though. That's all I could think.
And he took the
I
cube.
have to steal Declaration of Independence.
God, like
I have to steal this river.
So how many is there like but there's like more iterations of Spider-Man that I'm not
Sure,
Definitely.
probably. I don't know all of them. I'm not that learned.
Well, isn't there like a bunch of iterations of like a bunch of superheroes if you really think about it?
There's really, especially Batman. God, you know how many
Is it,
iterations there
there's
of
like a
Batman?
time traveling Batman, isn't there?
Probably.
I think so. I think I saw a comic of that when I was in high school, but and then I don't
Those are all the main ones. Like, this movie touched on all the popular ones, I think, for the most part.
yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of like how like they start. I think I like the thing with the Peter Parker. They started off with like the good Peter Parker guy who was like definitely like still like into it and really excited, and then he dies, and then you get like the schlub.
Janky hobo Spider-Man.
But like, I love to see that Spider-Man though. Like, that was a good thing to see because it's like fun to see. Well, I feel like especially because when you see movies, you see a lot of the origin stories, especially of the popular characters. But this was like Spider-Man when like being Spider-Man kind of sucks, yo.
Again, relatable.
But it was his fault though. Like he was kind of like, I need to be Spider-Man, and then it's like, well, that's gonna ruin your life. So
And then it ruined his life.
Yeah.
But like that was fun. I really loved that iteration of Spider-Man. I thought that was really fun to see, and I thought he had like a great dynamic with Miles Morales.
I thought
That
it was poetic how he saw, like, his blonde self in the picture, and then he took off his mask, and, like, his face is all messed up, and he's all bruised. Like, I thought that was really poetic.
Yeah.
And cool.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was really good. Kind of. That was good.
yeah.
Is there anything that you guys didn't like?
I thought like repeating the origin story a bunch with like the different characters kind of dragged a bit.
Oh, really?
Like I understood it with like doing it for like at least because I feel like the main ones were like the Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and then Spider-Gwen, and then when they were kind of doing it again, I'm kind of out for this.
Oh, what the next three? They did them like all like.
They did, and so like I didn't.
So
it didn't bother me that much, but I'm kind of like okay, like
I get it.
I'm.
My only thing was I thought Miles took a little while to develop. Once he got there, it was awesome, but I thought they, like, took the time with
I kind
Miles.
of like that. I think, I don't know, I feel like a couple times he was kind of just, like, sad about it, but then I kind of liked it because it felt, like, natural that he's kind of, like, you see something and it's actually really terrible and you're just, like, bye. Or, like, when I felt like nobody, like, everybody was, like, there was a point when, like, it felt like nobody really thought he could do it, and not, like, they weren't being mean about it, they were kind of, like...
It was so interesting, because
It was also, like, they cared about him. Like,
yeah,
they were,
the
like,
whole time they're rooting for him, right? Because they want him to do well, because they've all been
and when he
there.
did come around, they're like, yeah, it's awesome.
And so, because I think that the scene that really tells it is when, like, older Spider-Man Peter Parker is talking to Miles in his, like, room, and then he's basically telling him, like, hey, we, like, you know, you can't do it right now. And then...
They're not saying you can't do it.
And then they bring the shot out to, like, outside the window, and they're all waiting around to, like, listen in on how it's going. And that really shows, because they've all been there. They've all been there because they are all, like, more experienced Spider-Men. But...
And woman.
And woman. Yes. So they're all experienced. They've all been there, so they know, and they're trying to cheer him on because they know they've been in that situation before. But he can't do it, and it's like this. Like they have to do their job, so they can't ignore it. But like that was
and,
really
he had
interesting.
to get there on his own.
Yeah, they know he has to do it by himself, and it was so interesting to see, like, because I feel like in a lot of origin stories, it's all like, kid, you can't do it, and then they like walk out. But this was like they want him to do.
They want you to do it, but like you can't do it right now.
So
we get it.
That was cool to see. I think.
So
That was really
it was
refreshing.
kind of nice when they come around and be like, we've all been through this, so like we can work together.
Yeah.
And like we understand, kid.
Yeah.
And like you'll get there one day.
They're a family.
Which is
A weird, dysfunctional,
I also
multi-dimensional
found it
family.
interesting how like most of the spider people were gone. They got like sent back to their dimension before the final fight. Like technically, like they're all gone, and then there's like another fight between Miles, which kind of made it feel like it was his story.
Yeah, it was, and I'm glad they brought it back to that because I was really digging just Miles' story like for the whole thing up until like everyone else came in. It's not that I didn't like when everyone else came in, but it was like I really enjoyed Miles as a character. Yeah. And so when they finished on him and he got to really finish solid just by himself, I thought that was really nice.
Yeah.
The one thing that I feel kind of bad about this because I like kind of didn't care, but it was like towards the last fight scene where like everyone's still there, and so you have Penny Parker fighting with the robot, and the robot kind of bites it, and it's supposed to be like sad, and she's like all sad about it, and I'm just like, you didn't really give me enough time to care about this, and so I don't care about it, and I feel bad because I want to care about it because I know this is supposed to be kind of an emotional moment, but she's like looking at this like the dead robot all sad, and I'm like, you haven't given me a reason to actually care about this as a character, so I can't. I'm sorry.
Probably the one we care the least about.
Yeah, she has the weakest thing, and
I didn't care about Spider-Ham at all. I like,
but you're not supposed to. He's just supposed to be comic relief.
He's funny.
I liked Penny. She seemed fun.
I wanted to like her, but definitely they didn't like. Of course, they had so much. They didn't only had so much time.
They
to
mostly
spend
focus on the
characters.
three.
I just
Which
like
is fine,
it. I
but-
just like a practical woman who, when she's like battling inside a robot mask, she has snacks.
It's true.
Yeah.
She was very smart.
And I think I remember like the one cringy part when like MJ comes up to older Spider-Man and
We're all like, oh,
she has to
right.
we're just like, shut up, and like even like Spider-Gwen's just like, shut up.
It was so funny. It was like one of those moments you're like, oh, don't do it, Peter.
Oh, but it's like, it's not like, that's not your MJ.
I know.
By the way, do people like MJ?
Depends.
But like, but that kind of confused me because like that wasn't mentioned in the Peter Parker stories. I'm like, but didn't they date? And then didn't she? And then she gets like, and then he kind of kills her and accidentally kills her. So, but that wasn't brought up in either of the Peter Parker's iterations. So like, is that just like a thing that we like delete that because of Spider-Gwen? I'm confused.
No, it's just a different dimension.
Okay, so there's a dimension where technically Peter Parker never met Gwen Stacy.
Sure.
No, they met. It's just that Gwen got the powers and Peter Parker didn't.
But in the Peter Parker universe, like that wasn't ever. But like we're not saying that they dated in either of the Peter Parker universes.
We don't know.
Because that would have been interesting
Not
if
that
it's
we
like,
saw.
hey, I'm Spider-Gwen, and Peter Parker's like if we would have remembered that.
I was
that
also
would have
kind
been
of waiting for that scene.
That
like-
would have been interesting because like that's never brought up that like one of his girlfriends died,
right.
and
like,
then she sees Spider-Gwen. It's like.
I feel like it might be because the Peter Parker we saw was so seasoned, and he's just like used to this weird stuff happening. So like wasn't really phased.
I
by
wouldn't
any of it.
mind.
But I definitely was like coming into this waiting for the scene where it's like, oh, you're the person that I couldn't save that one time, but now you have the superpowers and you couldn't save me. Maybe we should reflect on that for just like half a second.
Or like it would just be like kind of awkward to be like, oh my god, like you're, like to see that person alive again. That would have been that would have been the first sequel though if you have like a Peter Parker come in.
From what I've seen, I think I saw somewhere in a comic that like they become really protective of each other because they couldn't save their significant others in their dimensions. So that's a thing.
Gotta read
They
more
just
comics.
didn't. I guess they don't touch on in this movie.
I wouldn't mind like a Peter Parker
Didn't
like
have time.
who dated.
It was Miles's movie. So.
Yeah, no,
And I like them
that's
and
fine.
her Miles together. I like that too.
Yeah, like I wouldn't mind like a movie where like Peter Parker dates Gwen Stacy and then accidentally kills her, and then there's like a Spider-Gwen alternate universe, and they meet, and it's kind of like that. Oh my god! Like for Peter Parker, it's like, oh my god, I can't believe you're alive.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that does happen. I want to say it does
In a
in the
comic?
comic.
In a comic.
Yeah,
But
could be wrong though.
yeah, and I did. The scene with the uncle was pretty good when he dead. Spoiler alert.
That was very emotional. I usually don't get emotional about
Oh,
that
and
kind
when
of character
Stan Lee
deaths.
appeared too. I'm sorry.
And especially like his lines. I mean, it was recorded way before he died, but like it was a very.
It just came out right after.
No, but
he
it
died.
was
just a very
it was
fitting-
meaningful, and then they still have a funny moment because there was a bit. It's like, is the suit gonna fit? It's like it'll fit eventually,
No.
which is like the point.
No,
And then you
it's
see
like,
like
it
no
always
refunds.
fits.
It's like no refunds. I'm like,
And it really did not fit at all.
No.
we like
He
apparently
went through puberty.
second puberty.
I'm going through puberty.
I don't think you know how puberty works, buddy.
Yeah, but I think like overall, like I had a good time. I'm just like not
Yeah,
that
it's a
into
fun movie.
I'm not that into animation. From like I've said that before. Like like I understand that's like a lot of hard work, and I respect all people who do it. And it's like just like not.
I mean, it's
full-
kind of like a genre of its own. If you don't like a specific genre,
like I like stuff in it. It's just like not fully my cup of tea. Like if I have a choice, I'm probably gonna go to the live action thing for the most part.
sure.
But I
fair.
no, but like definitely like the writing was like probably my favorite.
It was just really strong and
Yeah.
solid writing, and
It's a fun movie.
Oh, it's fun.
Like you
so
said,
much
just
fun.
I had fun.
Yeah. Oh, what a fun
It made
movie.
like when I was finished watching this for the first time, I just wanted to like jump off of roofs and go running and doing stuff.
Mom, I want to jump off a roof.
Wait, no hands.
Miles did it. It's fine.
Don't have spider powers.
Yeah, it is fun. It does like fill you with that kind of energy.
Yeah.
Where I just
Also-
want to like do the thing.
Okay, other question, because this is all confusing
Yeah,
me.
what's up?
Why didn't Miles have like spider flingy powers, but then he had like invisibility and then like shocky
Easy
people
words.
Well,
powers?
Spider-Man doesn't have
But I'm thinking because like he did in the Sam Raimi one.
Sam Raimi ones, yeah, but like
The
OG
only-
But
comics,
it doesn't
the only
count.
one.
that's the only.
But then
version
where
that
does
can
it? So
actually do
like
that.
so he never actually has like spider webby powers.
No.
No,
He just like makes that on his own. So then what powers does Spider-Man have?
he clings the
He
walls.
has like
the
strength,
walls,
and he's
clings
super
the
strong.
walls.
Okay.
and he has Spidey sense.
And then Miles can somehow turn invisible, even though spiders can't do that.
I think I think it is
I know it's
taken
also a
from
weird
spiders.
spider. Yeah.
I
Can
think
spiders turn invisible?
I think it's like a camouflage thing. I don't think it's like invisible, but I think the idea.
Okay.
Like I'm pretty sure like they did take some of Miles Morales' powers from like actual spiders. I think there's spiders that can camouflage really well, and I think there's spiders that like can
What if it's a thing in
generate
the
electric
comics? Though? What
shocks.
if like Miles Morales in the comics does that
I'm
stuff?
pretty sure
He does.
Also,
Yeah, 'cause
I'm
I'm pretty sure I read that. a
I
while
like the
ago.
taser webs. That's pretty useful.
Yeah.
I'm also assuming that most spiders, maybe they do have a spider sense.
I think they do.
Spiders.
Maybe I don't actually. I don't know science.
Let's look that up.
But then so I still also would like that Sony make another deal with the MCU, and then we get an MCU Spider-Man in the Spiderverse, and it's voiced by Tom Holland. That would be fun. And then he just turns to dust.
Oh, you know, it was rumored that Tobey Maguire was supposed to voice Peter Parker in this, but
Aw, Toby.
That would've been
Maguire.
God, but he always looked old in those movies. Like he looked 30 in high school.
It's so true. And Andrew Garfield was 30, but looked like he was in high school.
He didn't look. I wouldn't say high school. I'd say like college.
Yeah, but he looked.
Tom Holland's the only one who I know is not in high school, but like is like young enough that like I would accept him.
Younger than us.
He's younger. Like my thing is like if you're like at least like in like your early 20s, you can still play high school.
Yeah.
And like he actually looks like he should be in high school.
He does. Speaking of Aunt May was like
Badass.
an unexpected just like gem in this movie.
I don't- you know
she
the
was
funny-
so good
she's
in
badass
this
in the
movie.
comics.
You know what the
too.
funny
Yeah.
thing is? Like I think it was Lily Tomlin
It was.
who did it. For some reason, like at the beginning, I thought it was Allison Janney, and I'm like, well, how come Allison Janney's ever played Aunt May? She would be so good. Because Allison Janney can do no wrong.
That's true. She's so good. That's Jenny. But no, Aunt May was so good in this movie.
It sounded like she knew before, even like because like it sounded like MJ didn't know, but Aunt May did know. In this,
MJ knew.
MJ knew.
did she know like after he died? I just thought she didn't.
Yeah,
It sounded
no.
like she didn't find out till he died.
No, the way her speech went, you could tell that she knew.
Oh, I kind of forgot the speech.
Yeah.
MJ wasn't in it much, and I'm kind of okay with that.
It's so bad because people really like MJ's character, and I just haven't picked up on her. Probably because I feel like my first exposure to MJ was like
Kirsten
Sam
Dunst?
Raimi. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that?
Sam Raimi
Kirsten
movie?
Dunst? Because like I like
I don't
Kirsten
care.
Dunst, but it's kind of like, you
Such a
fine.
damsel.
Yeah. But anyway, Spider-Gwen. I love her. And her undercoat.
Wasn't there a point when MJ became Miss Spider-Woman?
No.
I don't know.
I think I heard that when I was like at least like when I was like 7. So
I'm
I
sure in
probably
some
wrong.
iteration.
Maybe.
I say like I know, I don't.
You don't.
don't.
Anything else? We got some fun trailers.
Oh my god.
God.
It's so funny because there's like all these like they're like really little kid movies. I'm like, what are these kid movies doing in front of my Spider-Man movie?
No, my favorite thing was like the second the Illumination thing showed up. I'm like, oh my god, there's a trailer for an Illumination movie. I'm just gonna look at Cailin the whole time.
Yeah, I don't like Illumination movies because I think they're bad.
Despicable Me is a perfectly adequate movie.
Despicable Me is the only decent movie from Illumination.
Oh, what were the other ones? I don't even remember.
Despicable Me 2, Minions,
I never saw that.
Secret Life of Pets.
Never saw it.
The newest Grinch movie.
Didn't see it.
Sing. Don't get me started on Sing.
That's actually pretty decent.
No! Sing
entertaining.
Sing makes me angry because it's just a formula, right? They're like, what kinds of things do people like? They like talking animals and they like pop music. Let's just put it in the movie.
Why is it every time you sound like an executive, you sound like a Jew from Brooklyn?
I'm not really going for that.
It always comes out that way. Then there was like the Wonder Park thing, which I got before. I didn't mind that. That may be interesting.
That one looks alright.
It was the ugly doll one. That looks stupid.
Well, it's for kids. Like, it's for kids. It's not for us.
How to Train Your Dragon. That looks good.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen the second one.
I didn't see either of them.
No, the first one's so good.
I know.
And I've seen it.
I know.
And that's an animated movie
know.
that I really like.
I know.
Why are trailers so long these days? I feel like they just give away the whole movie.
Oh, the dog trailer.
Yeah, they're going for that stupid Homeward Bound movie, and it just gives away the entire movie. The entire movie's in the trailer, and I'm like, I don't have to see this now. Like, I just saw the whole movie.
You know what happened.
Like, it's a dog. It's like literally, if you saw one of the I saw a Homeward Bound movie.
Were they in the city or were they in the woods?
They were in the woods.
That was the first one.
Okay. It was like a cat and an old dog and a young dog.
Yeah. Homeward Bound gave me emotion, especially at the very end.
But what was this movie called? Was that Ellie Kemper too? Like, as the voice? Like, Kimmy Schmidt?
I don't know, actually.
It sounded like her. And like, she's a pup. It's like that movie A Dog's Purpose that came out like.
Yeah, but because it was written by the same person.
Yeah. And then there was another religious movie.
Oh, yeah, really big Jesus movie.
I literally thought it was
the King Arthur movie looked cute.
That looks stupid.
Oh no! It looked cute.
Also, was that Patrick Stewart?
It's for kids.
Was that Patrick Stewart?
Ian McClellan.
Was that what it is?
That was Ian McClellan.
Ian McKellen?
Ian McClellan. Clown.
Was it? I thought it was Patrick Stewart. No, I mean, they're kind of the same person, but besides the point.
Kind of the same person.
No, but then I feel like it kind of looked like that Artemis Fowl trailer, which also looks stupid.
No! Wait, did you ever read the Artemis Fowl books?
Oh no.
Okay, if you didn't read the books, then you wouldn't like the trailer.
Isn't he kind of an ass?
Yes. He's a dick of a child. But but the movie, it's cool because
Also, those came out like years ago, and now we're making a movie.
The movie's been in development hell for 20 years.
All right.
They've been trying to make that movie for 20 years.
All right.
But no, if you read the Artemis Fowl book and then you saw everything come to life, it was neat because I'm like, oh, I read this as a kid. I'm like, it looks so good. I read that movie. I think that I read that book when I was 12.
Yeah.
So not even. I was 11.
That King Arthur movie kind of looks stupid. Like it looked like that. What's the movie? Like a better quality version of a kid in King Arthur's court.
Yeah.
But so I'm just like, it's probably gonna be that bad.
No, it looked cute.
It
looked cute. You all are just mean.
Look, I like my King Arthur stories when there's dramatic and hot people playing King Arthur, and I don't want to think of a child.
I like my King Arthur stories when King Arthur sleeps with his sister.
That's all of them. Except for the BBC show where he technically only has a crush on his sister, but then doesn't sleep with her.
Fools. They're weak.
Or that
weak. He sleeps with his sister.
Or it's funny, in the 90s miniseries Merlin when his sister was Helena Bonham Carter. That's a fun miniseries.
Good time.
It's so 90s.
Yeah. Man, 90s were a good time. All right.
You think he's going to sleep with his sister in this one?
God, I hope not. He's 8. Jesus Christ!
Okay, Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse.
It was good.
You probably already saw it.
Go see it. If you haven't seen it, what the hell are you doing? And also, why did you watch this? It was full of spoilers.
I would say if you like Spider-Man a lot, you're gonna love this.
Exactly, yeah. If you're looking for just a Spider-Man movie where Spider-Man gets to be a character and not just a guy, not just a carrier of plot,
and also
or the superhero.
If you're kind of a noob like me and you like good writing, you'll have fun.
Yeah.
You'll still appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Any last words, Mary?
Go see it.
Yeah.
Go see the movie.
Woo!
Okay, I don't really like doing the annotations. There's stuff down below where you can find our
You can find us on social media. Just follow us on Twitter at WittyClothes. I post there. Anyway. All right. Sounds good.
Peace.
Peace.
How am I supposed to save the whole world? You
can't think about saving the world. You have to think about saving one person. Miles, where did you go?
Can Spider-Man turn invisible?
Not in my universe. Wow, this is incredible. Some kind of fight or flight thing.
What's that?